What if I told you that your manifestations feel like pushing water uphill because you've been taught to align with your desires instead of aligning with them? What if every struggle, every delay, and every moment of resistance in your manifestation journey comes from a single misunderstanding about the nature of energetic alignment? In the next 30 minutes, I will reveal the ancient Egyptian method for instant energetic alignment that transforms manifestation from effort into inevitability. This isn't about raising your vibration or matching frequencies. This is about recognizing that you are the frequency you're trying to match. By the end of this video, you'll understand why trying to align your energy creates misalignment, how the pharaohs achieved perfect energetic coherence in moments, and the specific technique that allows you to embody your desired outcomes so completely that having them becomes as natural as breathing. This missing piece bridges ancient wisdom with quantum physics, the secret that turns manifestation from a practice into a way of being. The fatal flaw in modern energy alignment. First, you need to understand that everything you've been taught about energy alignment is based on a fundamental misconception. Modern spiritual teaching treats alignment like tuning a radio. You adjust your frequency until you match the frequency of what you want to manifest. This approach assumes that you and your desired outcome are separate energetic entities that must be brought into harmony. But this assumption creates the very separation that prevents alignment from occurring. Ancient Egyptian priests understood something modern practitioners have forgotten. You don't align with your desired outcome. You align as your desired outcome. The difference between these two approaches is between struggle and effortlessness, between hoping and knowing, between trying to manifest and being manifestation itself. When you try to align your energy with something external to yourself, you're unconsciously affirming that you're not already that thing. Every attempt to match a frequency reinforces the belief that you don't currently embody that frequency. This creates what the ancients called the paradox of seeking. The more you try to align with something, the more you confirm your separation. The Egyptian mystery schools taught that accurate alignment occurs when you recognize that the consciousness seeking alignment and the consciousness of the desired outcome are the same. There's nothing to align with because there's nothing separate from you. This recognition transforms the entire process of manifestation. Instead of trying to become something you're not, you remember something you already are. Instead of reaching for a frequency outside yourself, you tune in to the frequency already playing within you. The quantum nature of energetic identity. To understand how true alignment works, you need to grasp the quantum nature of consciousness itself. Modern quantum physics has discovered that there are no separate objects at the fundamental level of reality, only patterns of energy in constant relationship with each other. Your personal energy field is a localized expression of the universal energy field. Your consciousness is not separate from universal consciousness. It's universal consciousness experiencing itself from a particular perspective. This means that you're not separate from that desire when you desire something. The consciousness that wants wealth is the same consciousness that experiences wealth. The awareness that seeks love is the same awareness that knows love. The energy that desires health is the same energy that embodies health. The ancient Egyptians understood this principle through their teaching of Ka, the divine double that exists as your perfect energetic blueprint. Your Ka contains every possible expression of your consciousness, including the version of you that already has everything you desire. In the Egyptian understanding, alignment is not about changing your energy to match something external. It's about shifting your awareness from your current consciousness to the expression that embodies your desired outcome. This shift happens instantaneously because you're not becoming something new. You're recognizing something that already exists within the infinite spectrum of your consciousness. The 3 levels of energetic misalignment. Before achieving proper alignment, you must understand the 3 levels where misalignment occurs. Most people focus only on the surface level, while ignoring the deeper layers that control their energetic state. Surface level, emotional misalignment. The first level of misalignment occurs in your emotional body. This is where most people focus their alignment efforts, trying to feel good about their desires or generate positive emotions around their goals. Emotional alignment is essential, but it's also the most superficial level. Emotions are effects, not causes. They reflect your deeper energetic state rather than creating it. When you force positive emotions without addressing the underlying levels, you create emotional turbulence that blocks alignment. The key to emotional alignment is not to force feelings, but to naturally allow them to arise from deeper levels of coherence. When your identity and belief systems are aligned, positive emotions flow effortlessly without any effort to generate them. Core level, identity misalignment. The second and more crucial level is identity misalignment. Your identity is the organizing principle of your energy field. It determines how you feel and how energy flows through your entire system. Most people try to manifest their current identity while hoping for different results. They want wealth while maintaining the identity of someone who struggles with money. They seek love while holding the identity of someone unworthy of love. Identity alignment requires a fundamental shift in how you see yourself. This isn't about changing your personality or pretending to be someone else. It's about recognizing and embodying the aspect of your consciousness that naturally has what you desire. When your identity aligns with your desired outcome, your energy field automatically reorganizes itself. You don't have to try to feel abundant. Abundance becomes your natural state. You don't have to work to feel lovable. Love becomes your default frequency. Foundation level, existential misalignment. The most profound and powerful level is existential misalignment. Misalignment with your fundamental nature as consciousness. This is where the ancient masters focused their attention because they understood that all other forms of alignment flow from this foundation. Existential alignment means recognizing that you are not a separate being trying to get something from the universe. You are the universe, temporarily focused through the lens of individual experience. When you truly understand this, the entire concept of alignment shifts. You're not trying to align your energy with your desires. You're recognizing that your desires are expressions of universal consciousness seeking to experience itself through you. You're not separate from what you want. You're the consciousness through which universal desire expresses itself. This level of alignment is instantaneous because it's based on recognition rather than effort. When you truly see that you and your desired outcome are expressions of the same consciousness, alignment becomes inevitable. The Egyptian method of instant alignment. Now, let me reveal the specific technique that Egyptian priests used to achieve instant energetic alignment. This method works simultaneously with all 3 levels, creating a coherent shift that transforms your energetic signature in moments. Phase 1. Consciousness recognition. The first phase involves recognizing the nature of consciousness itself. Sit quietly and become aware of the awareness that's reading these words. Notice that this awareness is not in your head or your body. It's the space where all experience occurs. This awareness is not personal. It's the same in every conscious being. It's the universal consciousness that the Egyptians called Atum, the self-created one from which all existence emerges. Please recognize that this awareness is not trying to get anything because it already contains everything. It's not seeking alignment because it is alignment. This recognition begins to dissolve the sense of separation that creates energetic misalignment. Phase 2. Identity transmutation. The second phase involves transmuting your identity from the personal self to the universal self. This isn't about losing your individuality. It's about recognizing your individuality as an expression of universality. Begin to identify with the consciousness that's aware of your thoughts rather than the thoughts themselves. Identify with the awareness that observes your emotions rather than the emotions themselves. Identify with the space in which your desires arise rather than the desires themselves. From this expanded identity, your desired outcomes are not external goals to be achieved. They're internal potentials to be expressed. You don't want wealth. You are the consciousness through which wealth expresses itself. You don't seek love. You are the love that seeks expression through relationships. This identity shift happens instantaneously when you truly see it. When you recognize your true nature, your energy field aligns with that recognition. Phase 3. Embodied expression. The third phase involves expressing this recognition through your human experience. This is where the universal consciousness that you are begins to express itself through the specific form of your desired outcome. Feel into the version of yourself that already embodies what you desire. This isn't visualization or imagination. It's recognition of an aspect of your consciousness that already exists. Your Ka, your divine double, already contains every possible expression of your being. Allow this aspect of your consciousness to express itself through your physical form. How does the version of you that has wealth move through the world? How does the version of you that experiences perfect love relate to others? How does the version of you that enjoys perfect health inhabit your body? This isn't pretending or acting. It's allowing a more profound truth of your being to express itself through your human experience. When you embody this expression completely, your energy field aligns automatically because you're no longer trying to become something. You're expressing something you already are. The science of instantaneous alignment. This method creates instant alignment because it works with the fundamental nature of consciousness rather than against it. Modern neuroscience is beginning to understand what the ancient masters knew intuitively, that the brain does not produce consciousness, but is the field in which the brain operates. When you recognize your true nature as consciousness, you're not changing your energy. You're changing your relationship to energy. You're not aligning with something external, but with your own deepest nature. This alignment happens instantaneously because consciousness doesn't exist in time. Recognizing what occurs in the eternal now, outside of the linear progression of past and future. When you truly see your nature, the seeing and the transformation are simultaneous. Quantum physics confirms this understanding through the principle of quantum entanglement. When particles become entangled, a change in one particle instantaneously affects the other, regardless of the distance between them. This happens because the particles are not separate at the quantum level. They're expressions of the same underlying field. Your consciousness and your desired outcomes are entangled in the same way. When you recognize your true nature, your desired outcomes automatically align because they were never separate from you in the first place. Advanced techniques for sustained alignment. Once you've experienced an instant alignment, the challenge becomes maintaining that state daily. The ancient Egyptians developed sophisticated techniques for sustaining alignment even amid ordinary activities. The technique of continuous recognition. The first advanced technique involves continuously recognizing your true nature throughout the day. This doesn't mean constant meditation or spiritual practice. It means remembering who you are in the midst of whatever you're doing. As you go through your daily activities, regularly return to the recognition that you are consciousness itself, temporarily focused through human experience. This recognition doesn't interfere with your activities. It transforms them into expressions of your aligned state. When you're working, you're not a person trying to be successful. Your success expressing itself through work. When you're in a relationship, you're not someone seeking love. Your love expressing itself through connection. When dealing with challenges, you're not a victim of circumstances. Your consciousness exploring its creative potential. This continuous recognition maintains your alignment by preventing you from falling back into the illusion of separation that creates misalignment. The practice of energetic coherence. The second advanced technique involves maintaining coherence between your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Coherence means that all aspects of your being express the same energetic signature. Most people experience internal conflict between their thoughts, feelings, and actions. They think abundant thoughts while feeling scarce emotions and taking actions based on limitations. This internal conflict creates energetic turbulence that disrupts alignment. Energetic coherence means that your thoughts, emotions, and actions arise from the same aligned state. When you're truly aligned, thinking abundant thoughts feels natural. Abundant emotions flow effortlessly, and abundant actions become obvious. This coherence is maintained not through effort, but through consistent recognition of your true nature. When you know who you are, everything you think, feel, and do naturally expresses that knowing. The art of effortless embodiment. The third advanced technique involves embodying your aligned state without effort or strain. Many people try to maintain alignment through constant vigilance and effort. But this approach creates tension that disrupts alignment. True embodiment is effortless because it's based on being rather than doing. You don't have to try to be aligned. You are aligned. You don't have to work to maintain your energy. You express your natural state. This effortless embodiment comes from a deep trust in your nature. When you genuinely know you are conscious, you don't have to monitor your alignment or worry about losing it. Alignment becomes as natural and effortless as breathing. The spiritual responsibility of perfect alignment. As you master these techniques and achieve consistent alignment, you must understand the spiritual responsibility that comes with this power. When perfectly aligned with your desired outcomes, you become a powerful force of creation. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every action you take becomes a creative force that shapes not only your reality, but the collective reality of humanity. This is why the ancient mystery schools required years of character development before teaching these advanced techniques. Perfect alignment is not just about getting what you want. It's about becoming a conscious participant in the evolution of consciousness itself. When you align with your highest potential, you're not just transforming your own life. You're contributing to the transformation of all life. This responsibility requires wisdom, compassion, and a deep commitment to the highest good of all beings. The power to instantly align your energy with any desired outcome must be used in service of love, truth, and the evolution of consciousness. Integration and daily practice. Understanding these principles intellectually is only the beginning. The fundamental transformation comes through consistent practice and integration into daily life. The ancient masters spent years perfecting their understanding, not because the techniques were complicated, but because embodying them completely requires a fundamental shift in how you relate to existence. Begin with short practice periods, 5 to 10 minutes each morning, where you engage in the three-phase alignment process. As you become more familiar with recognizing your true nature, you can extend this awareness throughout your day. Remember that this is not a technique to be performed, but a truth to be recognized. You're not learning to do something new. You're remembering something you've always been. The more you practice this recognition, the more natural it becomes. Pay attention to the moments when you slip back into the illusion of separation and gently return to the recognition of your true nature. This is not a failure. It's part of the integration process. Each time you return to alignment, you strengthen your capacity to maintain it. The ultimate secret of energetic mastery, the ultimate secret that the ancient masters discovered, is that there is no secret. Everything you need for perfect alignment already exists within you. You're not learning to become something you're not. You're remembering something you've always been. The consciousness that seeks alignment and the consciousness that experiences perfect alignment are the same. The energy that desires transformation and embodies transformation is the same. The awareness that wants to manifest and the awareness of IS manifestation are the same. When you truly understand this, the entire journey of spiritual development transforms from seeking to being, from becoming to recognizing, from trying to allowing. You realize that you've never been separate from what you desire because you are what you want, expressing itself through the beautiful form of your individual experience. This recognition is the end of seeking and the beginning of being. It's when you stop trying to align your energy and start expressing your alignment. It's the shift from manifestation as a practice to manifestation as your natural state of being. The ancient Egyptian masters knew this recognition was available to every conscious being because it's the truth of what every conscious being already is. The question is not whether you can achieve perfect alignment, whether you're ready to recognize the ideal alignment you already are. If this understanding resonates in the depths of your being, if you feel the call to step into your true nature as consciousness itself, then this is your invitation to begin the most important journey of your existence. The journey from who you think you are to who you are. Subscribe to this channel if you're ready to continue exploring the deepest mysteries of consciousness and reality creation. Hit the notification bell to be notified when we dive deeper into the advanced techniques that the mystery schools taught only to their most dedicated students. Like this video, if it's opened your eyes to the true nature of energetic alignment, share it with anyone ready to move beyond trying to align their energy and step into being aligned itself. Together, we're reclaiming the ancient wisdom that reveals the truth of what we are capable of when we remember our divine nature. The universe is not waiting for you to align with it. It's waiting for you to remember that you are it, temporarily focused through the lens of individual consciousness. Are you ready to step into that remembering?